So, as with every new season of Tekken that comes out, the topic of rank inflation came up again in Season 3 of Tekken 8. You have some people, as always, who are talking about how so-and-so rank doesn't mean anything anymore, or about how, the rank system is just giving out ranks for free, for, the player's validation. And in the other corner, you have people who are blissfully posting their new ranks, their progress pictures on different social media platforms, either Twitter or YouTube or even Facebook groups, if you've seen them. For example, we have this Reddit post of a Steve player who reached God of Destruction in Tekken 8, right? A very normal progress post. And of course, wouldn't you know it, we have fucking dipshit over here that is talking about how GOD in Season 3 is really just Season 1 Fujin, right? Which, of course, he is going to get downvoted to Oblivion 4, and people are going to refute. But very sadly, dipshit over here is not completely wrong. God of Destruction in Season 3 is not really the same as God of Destruction in Season 1 or Season 2, right? There is a difference. But in order to make sure that this person is right or wrong, we have to quantify the rank inflation. We have to quantify the rank inflation so that we can stop listening to either dipshits over here who think that GOD in Season 3 is Season 1 red ranks, or on the other side, people who are actually refuting rank inflation at all, who are proud of their new ranks as if they achieved it last season or something, which is not true either. So, how do we actually quantify this rank inflation? There's a lot of ways to do it, fucking statisticians have a lot of tricks up their sleeve, but the way I think is a good balance between accuracy and ease of use, as in how quick you can find the solution, is with percentiles and distribution, right? For example, let's take an example. In the latest rank distribution of Tekken 8 that you can check out on ewgf.gg, which is a great website for Tekken statistics, GOD 0 over here accounts for the top 12.5, let's say, percent of the population. That means that if you are GOD 0 or above, you are part of the 12.5% best players in the player pool, right? So I am gonna check which percentile God of Destruction 0 is, which is 12.5%, and I'm going to go check in the rank distribution for Season 1.13 of Tekken 8, which is Season 1, which is the last patch of Season 1 before we went into Season 2. If I go check and look for the 12th percentile, which would be somewhere around here, just a little bit lesser than Bushin, we can conclude that there's a 5 rank difference between God of Destruction and Bushin, meaning that this player right here, although they would not either be Fujin or Tekken King, they would have been somewhere around Bushin, which is this is the accurate assessment. Not saying that they are Fujin or not saying that they are Tekken King. They would be somewhere around Bushin, right? And this is how we quantify rank inflation using percentiles and player distribution. And the same thing can be done for Season 2. If we check out the rank distribution for Season 2.09 of Tekken 8, which is the last version of Season 2 before we went into Season 3, the 12th percentile would be somewhere between Tekken King and Tekken Emperor. That means that someone in GOD right now in God of Destruction would have been somewhere around Tekken King or Tekken Emperor in Season 2, in the very end of Season 2, right? So that's how we quantify rank inflation. And you can also actually generalize this for almost all the ranks that we have in Tekken 8, right? There is a 3.5, around that number, a 3.5 rank difference between Season 2 ranks and Season 3 ranks, right? And there is a 1.5 rank difference between Season 1 and Season 2, meaning that if I wanted to like go from my season 3 rank to my season 2 rank, I would need to go down 3.5 ranks. And if I wanted to go from my season 2 rank to my season 1 rank, I would have to go down 1.5. And it's cumulative. To go from my season 3 rank to my season 1 rank, I would have to go somewhere around like 5 ranks down. The only exception to this is the very high god ranks, like God of Destruction 5 and 8, for example. If we follow this rule, the people who were GOD 5 in Season 2 would have been GOD Infinites in Season 3, but that's not the case. Everyone is actually hard stuck in in GOD 7, even though they were GOD 5 or even GOD 6 in a certain case, right? So yeah, for any ranks other than like the last God of Destruction ranks, the rule of rank inflation follows a flat increase of 3.5 ranks between season 3 and season 2, and a 1.5 rank increase from season 2 to season 1, right? Yeah. So now, if you reach a new rank and fucking dipshit comes over and tells you that actually this new rank that you've got is actually just fucking Tekken 8 Season 1 red ranks or anything, you have the tools to actually either refute their claims or just suck it up and accept that they are right somewhat, you know? But here's the problem. We are not like moths that are drawn to a light. These are PNGs. Every single one of these rank is just a picture that I can download or install a mod for, and I am going to be fucking God of Destruction Infinite by tomorrow, right? So we have to like find a new standard to measure our improvements at the game, how good we are at the game, because as we've seen, the ranks value change all the time. We have to find something that is more stable, right? And as such, the real video kind of starts here. The question is, how do you measure your progress at Tekken using something other than ranks, which, as we've seen, are changing all the time, right? They are not reliable to track how good you're getting over a long period of time. And you can also apply this to like literally any other multiplayer game with a ranked system. We're just going to be focusing on Tekken on this one, right? And as such, to measure our progress more objectively, we would need to choose a reference point. Now, to my knowledge, there are like 3 different reference points that you can take in order to measure your progress or how good you're getting at the game over time. The first one is measuring your progress against either one person or a group of people, which is the most simple one to use, but also the most finicky one for reasons that we're going to see. The second one is actually measuring your progress against yourself over time, which is also pretty weird, but it is quite good if you are willing to go through the effort of documenting like your improvements. And the last one, which is like the one we've talked about rather before, is measuring your progress against the whole like Tekken population, which is around like the 500,000 people at the time of me making this video. So the first reference point that I talked about is either one person or a group of people, and it is by far the most simple one, right? Let's say you play Tekken against this person, either a friend or a relative or like someone that goes to your local, for example, or a group of friends, whatever, right? And you play Tekken against them. And let's say they beat you by a certain amount. Let's say in a 1st to 10, they beat you 3 to 10, right? You are going to measure, simply put, your progress against this person. You are going to document your different scores on every set you play. Let's say you go from a 3 to 10 score on a 1st to 10 to a 4 to 10 to a 5 to 10 and so on and so forth until you start like winning some sets, right? Or even winning more sets than they are winning, right? In which case you will have overtaken them. This is a very simple way to measure your progress against this one person, and it is by far the most entertaining one, since like it creates a lot of rivalry, right? You have this target and you have to beat them no matter what. But there are a lot of limitations with this point of reference, since for one, it is very linear, right? There's this one target and like there's nothing else that exists. So which leads, for example, to both of you guys improving like in relation to a stationary reference point, but it doesn't look like you guys are moving relative to each other, like two cars rather, going at 100 kilometers per hour on the highway. To each other, these cars don't look like they are moving at all, but to another reference point, both these cars are like moving very quick, right? So that's one of the limitations of using one person as a reference point, and the other one is, for example, rock, paper, scissors relationships. Like, for example, person A beats person B beats person C, but person C beats person A, right? And so even though you are like losing to person B, you are winning against person C, which it's not a very objective measure of how good you are getting at the game. So that's it for like using either one person or a group, or a very small group rather, of like 3 to 5 friends as a reference point, right? The second reference point I think I mentioned is actually measuring your progress against yourself, which is by far the most methodical one and the one that takes the most dedication, because you have to like you have to document, you have to analyze, you have to watch your own replays for like very long periods of time, but it is worth it. It is the most technical one, and in order to do it, you have to like forget numbers like altogether. You have to ignore your rank, you have to ignore like your win rate, you have to ignore everything. What you have to focus on is what you can do and what you cannot do, and what you struggle with actually in accessory to these two. For example, let's say I can't break throws. I have a terrible throw break rate, right? I have to work on it and document my progress over time. See what works and what doesn't work. As it comes like with different throw breaking training regimes or whatever, right? And I have to document my progress either 1 week or 1 month or one year, like over time, right? And the same thing goes for other like limitations. Let's say I struggle or I freeze up when my opponent is pressuring me. I have to find new solutions for this. Either like panic moves or like down jabs or sidestepping or whatever, depending on the character. And I'm going to solve this issue and I'm going to run into another issue. Let's say I'm getting pressured and I am losing against people who are pressing their brakes when I do a panic move and I get launched for it, right? Either lightning screw or samsara or whatever. And I have to brainstorm new ideas to solve this problem, right? Do I need to adapt better? Do I need to find places where I autopilot and my opponent is taking advantage rather of that idea, right? And all of this has to be done over a very long period of time, but it is very much worth it, right? The only problem that I can see with measuring yourself against yourself from the past is that there is no like minimum rate of improvement. You could be improving like 0.001% like per day, and you would still be progressing, but it would just be a very slow progress rate, which like let's say would not be enough in order to combat the rank inflation itself, right? You would be improving, but at a slower rate than the other people, and you would not be aware of it because you are just comparing yourself against yourself. You wouldn't know that the people are improving at a faster rate than you, because in your eyes you are also improving, just at a very, very slow rate. And the last way to measure your progress, which I use a lot, which is the one I use the most really, is measuring your progress, is measuring yourself rather against all of the TEKKEN population, right? For example, let's say I reached God of Destruction Supreme, right? God of Destruction Supreme, let's say in Tekken, in Season 3 rather, is somewhere around the top 18.3% of the population. If by the time I reach the God of Destruction rather, and the God of Destruction is the new 18.3%, I will know that I will not have improved at all in regard to my peers, to the person who are in the same rank as me, right? If I do reach God of Destruction before it is the new 18.3% of the population, for example, let's say it is 15%, the top 15% of the population, by the time I reached it, I will know I have improved quicker than 3% of my peers, which are still stuck in Tekken God Supreme, right? And you can do the same thing for the other ranks. Let's say I reached God of Destruction, let's say I reached God of Destruction 0, which is this one, and then if by the time I reached God of Destruction 1, and it becomes the new 12.6% of the population, I will know I will not have improved at all in respect to, like, in relation to the people who were at the same rank as me. If I do reach God of Destruction 1 before it becomes the new 12.6%, I will have improved. And how quick I reach it determines how quick I progressed, right? And so this is the way to measure progress in regards to the whole Tekken player base, right? For me personally, how I would apply this is by the time Season 2 of Tekken 8 ended, I was God of Destruction 3, right? But I was barely God of Destruction 3. I used, like, if I played another game, I would demote back to God of Destruction 2, right? So that's my rank in Season 2 of Tekken 8, God of Destruction 2. Now, I took a small break from Tekken 8, right? During this break, all of the person that I used to play against in ranked, which are my peers, moved to God of Destruction 6, right? And so when I came back to Tekken 8, I knew that I had to get God of Destruction 6. That is the status quo. If I did not reach it, there would have been something wrong. I would have gotten worse from the break that I have taken from Tekken 8, right? But, like, as I suspected, within a week, I went from God of Destruction 2 or 3 to, or rather it was God of Destruction. They reset us to God of Destruction, and I came back to God of Destruction 6, right? Which is where all the people I used to play against in Season 2 are right now in Season 3, so when I reached God of Destruction 6, I was not like, oh my god, I reached God of Destruction 6, this is like a very good sign of progress. No, I just had a sigh of relief that I was still just as good as I was before I took the break, because I know that's where all the people I used to play against are right now. That's in God of Destruction 6, right? So that's how to measure progress in respect to all of the Tekken player base. You check your new rank and you compare it to the percentile, right? So that's it about rank inflation. If you see someone saying that fucking God of Destruction is the new Fujin, or if you see, on the other side, if you see someone that says that rank inflation is not that big a deal, like it doesn't affect ranks that much, you now know that they are both wrong. As always, the truth is somewhere in the middle, and if you try to quantify it, you will reach somewhere around the results that I have talked about in the beginning of the video, either a 3.5 rank increase from Season 3 to Season 2, or a 1.5 rank increase from Season 2 to Season 1, right? And like, that's a very important point. You should not let your emotions take the front wheel. You should take this very objectively and try to quantify it, either in Tekken or in other things, right? So that's how I see rank inflation, and that's my 2 cents on it. As always, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Those would help me a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, this has been Magician. Take care of yourself and have a good one.